One last game to determine it all for for these 16 teams, as we said so many times so far. But for the guys that haven't heard, top 8 teams out of these 16 will make it onto stage 2. The stage 2 games will be played next week. It's going to be Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday once again, and they will be playing against the top teams from the Open League. And they will be playing against the, not the top, because the first and second place get direct invites, right? But they'll be playing against the top teams in 3rd through 5th place from EU West, 3rd and 4th from EU East, and the 3rd place team from MEA, or Middle East and Africa. And those teams, alongside the 11th place teams from the group stages in the contenders from phase 1, will they'll make 16 teams, and they will be they'll be fighting it out for 6 spots in the next season of PL. So why not start things off with a fight on military? Just because we haven't really seen that yet. Knockout Gaming, they didn't go military last game. Kebabs, they did, and they were like, well, I mean, I guess we'll just go down here again. But this time around, nope, not quite so, and they now start fighting. Not something we've seen a whole lot of, but it's always interesting when it does happen nonetheless. It's always good fun to see a proper military fight, but it seems to me like it's not pretty much of a fight. It's more of just people laying low and kind of chilling it out. Airwaves, they're going down east. Seems to me like Draco, they're saying, well, thank you. Neither Kebabs or Knockout Gaming, they wanted to go George Bull, so we'll just go borrow that. And that's what's interesting to me. I mean, the fact that we're 12 games into this tournament and teams are still changing up their drops from game to game, that's not something you see very often. But nonetheless, it does happen, and this is what happens with it. Very, very tricky for them to not only get safely across the water now, but also, I mean, they have to find out each other before they can really get to that point. We haven't seen anyone go down just yet. You see the points on your left side there as well. Right now, Art of War, they are in, but they're just 7 points ahead of Phoenix and Last Crew. Phoenix has had 2 really good placements today. Not really a lot of kills to back it up, but 2 good placements, and Last Crew has kind of been on the opposite side of that. They've gotten a lot of kills. They have not really been able to get the placements that they would have wanted. But still, I mean, they're not out. They're not out just yet. We're just 9 points away for Last Crew to make it into that top 8. So Art of War, Venconas, technically as well, but might be a little more safe. But Art of War for sure need themselves a good performance. You see them on your screen right here as well. For sure need a good game to secure that spot. If they go out early, it's just going to be onto them to hope that Phoenix or Last Crew goes out early as well, because they are right now the teams to to look out for, the teams that aren't in that want to make it. In Phoenix, they have been in for a while, then they went out, now they're in, then they went out. Last Crew as well, they were in for a while, then they went in, then they went out. And Peepo, whatever that thing said on the wall, was probably extremely entertaining for anyone speaking Russian, but I don't, so I didn't understand what it said. Looting. Still in the early phases. Ghost Legion, again, a team that has positively surprised me. They were playing in the contenders, and I can only put it this way. I mean, I know I've mentioned them a lot, but that's because they're, I mean, honestly, credit where credit's due. To me, Ghost Legion is a game, or it's a team that did not show me a whole lot coming into the contenders. They did not really have things going their way. But then we see them play here, and I mean, the fights they decide to take, the way they engage fights, the way they move around during fights, and how you can tell, like, the control, like, the information is being sent across. It's just it's a completely different team. Them and Swarm as well. 2 very different teams from what we saw in contenders in phase 1. So excited to see them play in stage 2 as well. It's going to be up against as we talked about, the remaining teams there, so that's going to be really interesting to see how that will go for them. But now, still back to military base we go. Nothing is determined down here just yet. Not at all. Knockout Game up against Kebabs. You see, trying to make the runoff. It's the 14th against 16th place team. I guess they're not really going to make their way in, but if they want to, they need a lot of kills early. And this could be what they need to get in. I think it's going to be 34 points. So a 24-point win would tie them up currently with Art of War. And I guess we can, I mean, not excluded. We've seen crazy things happen before. But there's a very small chance that that's going to happen for either of these 2 teams. But as you say that though, I mean, honestly, one of these teams that survived this, they could, I mean, even though they might not be able to make it, but they could take up 1 or 2 of the players from Art of War, for example, or maybe for Phoenix, and they could be, I mean, even though they don't have a chance to make it in, they could be the team to make it, like, sort of make the difference for the teams that are in a position to get in. So even though they might not be able to do it, they can make life really, really tough for the teams trying to. Kalimdor, he has been going down on early rotations a lot throughout these qualifiers, so let's hope for him that that's not going to repeat itself. Fenerbahce, that's the thing, they had such a good game on, like, that one time when they were able to keep 4 guys alive into the very late game. They were able to get so many good things going their way. They got 8 kills and I believe a 3rd place, but they just have not really been able to put themselves in situations where they've been able to pull that off. Now Soggy goes down early. That's a big loss for Phoenix. Soggy was a one of their top damage dealers, I believe, and also one of the players that has been able to stay alive for a while coming into the late game earlier. EFSA spots out the vehicle, goes, ooh, that's my call. That's my time to leave. I'm gonna sprint on down, trying to get into safety and loot a little while I'm running, because why not? And now we go, just full on speed down and need to get the hell out of here. Makes perfect sense. No reason to to overstay your welcome in the military. If you have a chance to leave when there's another team down there, then you better take it when you have it. We're gonna be following the kill feed here, or the scoreboard here on the left screen for a little while, and it's gonna be really interesting once we do see fights happening. And actually, to be honest, we've only lost 1 player so far, and I must say that is new to me. That is very new to me. I've not been used to see only 1 player getting killed at 7 minutes. We normally had either a full team wiped or at least 3-4 players around the map getting killed on rotations, or in fights where they land on top of each other or run over with vehicles, or crazy things like that happen. So the fact that people are now saying, you know what, last game, everything's on the line, let's just play it super passive early on, at least. Smarter rotations, playing it safe. Maybe some of them should have done it from the beginning, but in the end, I mean, if you gotta do it, then now is about the right time to start pulling those things off. Draco as well, they had themselves some really good games yesterday, but was not enough, obviously, to get them into the top mix. Knockout Gaming coming in, crossing on over. But again, I mean, they'll be able to play Open League once more, so it's not because they're completely down and out. They'll be able to sign up alongside you guys for phase 2. If you guys want to play some PUBG, do make sure to go over and sign up. And as we can see here, Westbridge for one team, Eastbridge for another. So despite the fact that there were 2 teams on the island to start with, did not really force them into any issues early in the game. Knockout, their strange continues their rotation on over. It is a somewhat, well, pretty center circle, pretty much as center as you could expect it to be. A little out east, so we didn't get a single western circle today. That's always interesting when you have circles go in the same area multiple times, to see how teams, despite the fact that they jump the same places, actually play things differently. Swarm, they're on the top. They're clearly, with that win in the previous game, set themselves up far enough above the teams below, so that they should be secured in the top. I would at least, yeah, I would assume so. I'm not expecting 3 teams to get 30 points this game. That would be pretty impressive. Riddle, they have had themselves a good run here as well. Have had the games where they haven't done well have been games where they've gotten players taken down early on, and clip. Double kill coming in there. You ran from one into another, into a third team of turrets, I guess you can say. Just players from Riddle sitting still, waiting for you and spraying you down, and that's going to be 2 kills secured, some loot provided, and rotation opportunities should be coming in as well. The 2 remaining players for Knockout trying to take out Higgy now, and he has to spin around here. I'm not sure if he hit something, but he completely slowed down as he came running up that hill there, and then unfortunately for Slayer, wasn't able to get the kill in when he had to, because he had a chance, a slim moment, take him down, but well, I mean, that was missed, and now fortunately for Personal Courage, they're able to continue on forward. Also a team that has really been doing well. Sure, they got themselves that 16 kill win, that boosted them up quite a bit, but off of as well, not the best performance in phase 1 of the Contenders League. They have made up for it and shown us that they at least deserve a spot in the second stage of the promotionals, and we'll see if they can they can make it work there. Now, it looks to me like Phoenix are pushing up into the open area here. Saxe pushing in towards Personal Courage. He's gonna go down. Bullen is going down as well. So Phoenix down to 1 player. This is gonna be tough, and they're eliminated. Phoenix were sitting in 9th. They're eliminated, and that is gonna be a big sigh of relief for Art of War. Last crew is still there. They're not that far out. Just 9 points, but this has got to be a feels good, man, for Art of War. It all came down to the previous game where they got themselves 12 kills and a 3rd place. Really good job by Art of War, and if this could be the sort of deal breaker for them to be able to stay put and stay inside, that would be very, very important points for them to collect. Minox trying to finish off these remaining few players from Fenerbahce. At least that's one right there. But he's getting shot at. He's getting shot at, and there are multiple other players around that has an angle on them. Kalimdor is still inside the house there, you could see. Made it inside of Yasnaya. Airwaves. 2 players to them. Taken down by Trico. Gets the finishes off as well. Tagatori and Mans both finished off. Not a whole lot more they could do. And now, and again, we talked about how nobody fights early. Now we're at 11 minutes and we've got 14 players eliminated already. And pretty much everything up until this point, other than the Phoenix fight, where they kind of crashed into the compound at the same time. Other than the Phoenix fight, we've had two teams. Oh, pretty much everything has been rotation kills, if I don't remember wrong. Kalimdor is trying to stay alive. It's going to be tough by him to do that off of this position. Of course, there's a chance that he could be inside the next circle, but still sitting in a compound, sharing the house with opponents, and then probably knowing that you're in there, that's not going to be the favorable. So to see Havoki, he's sitting there. How the hell did he get spotted? And from where? That's far off in the distance. And Havoki has to go down, but they know for a fact that there are more people in here. They don't know how many. Kalimdor is holding the angle from the bathroom. They're right next to each other. Now he's jumping around the corner, spots him out, but he was already low on HP and gets finished off because of it. Menox and Faye now running on up and say, "You killed our friend. We shall take you down because of it." And I think for Kalimdor, he's just saying, no, stay downstairs. Not gonna happen though. Faye takes him out, and Fenerbahce are gonna go down and out and also not make the cut for the stage 2. So having gone from close qualifiers to contenders to now unfortunately falling off, that's an unfortunate demotion for them, but hopefully that will be the motivation needed for them to keep on playing and make it into the Open League again for phase 2, and then well, I mean, grind their way up from there. That's all what you gotta do. Gotta grind your way to the top if you want to have a chance at competing with the best. You're gonna show us your worth, and you gotta earn your spot. And unfortunately for Fenerbahce, not able to pull it off right there. Same thing happening for Phoenix. They played in the Contenders League. They had a win on Miramar. They had 2 wins, I believe, in Erangel throughout the 24 games they were playing. And then other than that, they just were not able to pull off a whole lot. They had a lot of really good rotations. They were able to pull off some really smart moves, but when it came down to the fights they were trying to take, they were just not able to get the amount of points they need. You can go in and you can see the scoreboards as well from the Contenders group stages. They got a lot of placement points compared to where they were. They just were not really able to back it off with a lot of kills. So unfortunately for them, their race will not stop here, but they will take a little bit of a break. But these other teams that are trying to still make their way in, Swarm, for example, continue to get points, and you do not want to rest easy knowing that these teams are trying to make their way in as well. Art of War still alive. Haven't seen them really been active this game, so good start for them. It has been those games where they haven't lost players early on, where they've actually been able to pull off insane finishes. Goldby now Ghost Legion, you can see, trying to see if you can spot anyone over the top. And that is indeed the team that we were just talking about, Art of War. They don't want to go out just yet. We haven't seen any teams eliminated from any players eliminated from last crew yet, so they cannot risk anything. And we see them on a screen right here. Moke is trying to drive down the hill, but he's going in between a lot of players, and Moke, he's going to be completely isolated. He's forced to make a commitment to some place at some point soon, but everywhere he tries to go, people are waiting for him and ready to shoot down towards him as well. And once now, I mean, he's out in the open here. He has Venkonas on the other side. Ghost Legion here trying to put up a potential play against Art of War as well. EFSA. And Unseen. They're far out on the edge. Kebabs, they haven't really got a whole lot working their way. And, well, I mean, this really ain't the difference. They're far out on the edge. They lost players already. And now they're just trying to, trying to live out this last game until they will have to square off against teams in Open League coming into the second phase. Goal B. And YMD, whether they go down here or not, they should be guaranteed a spot in the top. And the circle out of Yasnaya we go. Everybody will have to rotate down south. Merit, only 8 spare bullets on his SKS. Has to prioritize when he wants to shoot. Of course, has plenty more bullets in the Scarl. But this looks like a full committed push from Last Crew. Straight up and forward. Manny, if he plays this as Nate right, could be tons of damage coming. But look at the push coming in. Jabby gets run over by AK skills. This is not what you want to have happen when you're trying to breach a compound at all. It looked good, it looked fun with their full speed forward push in on this, but now they got themselves one knock, and now Moke goes down to the nade from Manny as well. So Manny, despite being alone, is buying himself and his team so much time here. If Last Crew goes out, that could be the finishing touches that Art of War needs, and they haven't even gotten themselves their first kill yet, but they will just let all these other teams fight off and go down. AK skills though did manage to get Jabby up, so it's not over yet. Moke does get finished off. The 1 kill comes in. Diggory goes down in return. I assume you see him on your map and again your screen in the corner, the split screen. He's going up on the big screen now as well. Jabby tries to apply some pressure while they're getting up the rest, and he's the last player alive. That would be an important finish off to come in for Airwaves, but also equally important would it be for the Last Crew team to stay alive. They have 3 guys up. Ooh, that nade should be able to take him down once more, and it does. Jabby goes down as well. That's test from above. Only 1 player alive now, and Zoom, I was gonna say, he might just want to push on this. He saw Jabby get knocked. He saw Diggory get knocked with his own nade too, and if this nades go, oh, he aims for the top window. He's going for the top window, which means that that's actually the only place he couldn't throw it. And as I say that, he actually managed to get Jabby up the stairs. That's impressive, nade right there. But just 2 players alive now for Last Crew. Toxic goes down Unseen, dies to the blue as well, and he's trying to get the rest on up, but that's not gonna happen. Manny is gonna go down to that nade. Zoom is gonna try to make the run around. This could be the difference maker. If Zoom can live to see another day here, if he can take down this in a 1v2, it could be the game for him, but not gonna happen. Seems to me like Last Crew lives to see another day, and that is gonna push him up a bit further, a bit closer. Just 7 points out from a potential top spot here. They're living it scary. They're living it on the edge, and they just lost 2 players. Not going to be easy whatsoever. EFSA all by himself has to run through Yasnaya. It's not going to be easy at all. He has to make a run. It's going to be a long run as well, and he's been spotted out by Apex, and they're not going to let him have it easy, that's for sure. Draco, John LeWoo by himself, shot down by a test. All they had to do is just, well, I mean, keep tapping. He would be hit eventually. Out in the blue is going to take him out. Should Test not be able to do it himself. Dickory and AK skills, though, they might just want to see if they can get a finish here. I mean, if they can get themselves that 1 more point, that 1 point could be the difference maker in the end, but nope, not gonna happen. Down goes John LeWoo, and EFSA now running forward. He's still not safe yet. There's a little while to go. He has to get outside of the city completely. He has to go out into the hay bales, into the field. And these hay bales, we all know, they ain't providing you with a lot of cover. They will grant you cover from one direction, but, well, I mean, if there's a team on your side or behind you, you will be completely exposed. Venconas, they're sitting in the open. They're trying to take this fight on against Last Crew. And Last Crew only being 2 guys alive, they cannot risk going down now. They know they needed X amount of points, and they also know for a fact that they don't have those points yet. Dickory, though, forced to blow up his vehicle. It was low on HP. And now the circle is gonna pop. Are you gonna get it, Last Crew, or are you not? Indeed you are. Hard shifts out to the east, and they'll be able to stay put for a little while longer, but they are split on each their side of the road, and it's not going to be an easy play for them. Should they, well, A, want to get over to each other, or B, try to stay alive if anyone tries to push in, because they can't really back up each other that easily either. Dickory goes down too. Phosphor gets himself not only the knock, but also gets to finish him off, so all of a sudden, it is all on the last remaining player from Last Crew to get into the top here. You need to get yourself 7 points by your lonesome, and that ain't gonna be easy. Airwaves already taking down Apex, unless if they can pull off 20 points in the final 37 kills here. That's gonna be a guaranteed spot for Last Crew. For Art of War, make that. As we saw about Art of War, they do lose 2 players. Alpha and Misa taking down 1 each. Coppen, as you can see, looking through the smokes. They know that they have Apex down there somewhere. They're without, like, they're outside smoke range. Or nade range, make that. But They're continuously shooting through 307, making 309 spare bullets as well, so plenty of bullets to spray on through. But as you can see on the other side, Personal Courage, they want a piece of the pie, and they're trying to come in and see how much damage they can do. So Apex taking fire from multiple directions, and it's not going to be easy for them. Faye already down. Trico and Menox, they're trying to run on forward. Andy goes down. He got the knock onto one. The kill was stolen, though. O'Connell took him down, but once again, kill stolen there. Efster gets finished off. Tony goes down, too, so I believe it's only BenQ alive, and that's actually going to be them eliminated. So, last crew, well, it's all on you now. It's one player remaining, and he just needs 8 points. 8 points for last crew, or 28 for Apex. That's gonna be the difference maker. That's all that's left. All you can do here is just wait it out and hope you're gonna get something. And all for AKA skills, it's gonna be prone it and somehow get into. If AKA skills don't get any more kills, he needs to win. Which is pretty unlikely, but we'll see. Let's not take anything for granted. Test pushing over the top here. They know that Faye is the last remaining player. They also spot out the Personal Courage team on the other side, and now he spots out Faye, so that should be just a short moment's time, and he actually gets the triple. Well connected shots with the SLR there to take down the entirety of Apex. They'll go down and out in 12th place. Not a whole lot of changes coming into that seemingly. Draco Unity still alive. Misa taken down there as well. And this now is just gonna be a fight for honor, I guess you can say. You can look at this: 88 down to 84, 3rd place through 7th, extremely close. But of course, you want to get yourself a good placement coming into the top here. AKA skills, get the circle again. But now with the circle placement he is going to be in for a rough one. As we can see, he is just on the edge, and he has the entirety of Venconas over on the other side of the road, and they might just want to push down towards him. Swarm. They're chilling out in the south. They don't have to cross just yet. They have to dip, but as you can see, Riddle, they can spot them where they are. And that's the issue here. Look at how many smokes are being thrown already. And we're only in circle 5. Once we hit just 2 circles later, all these people that are out in the open now, they're going to be in such a rough position. And for everyone that is sitting in compounds or any sort of hard cover, once they come out, they're going to have such a high advantage. Even though they might be 1 player down in numbers, they will have such an advantage when it comes to when it comes to utility disposal or utility availability, because well, it ain't gonna be easy for anyone trying to contest. Well, it ain't gonna be easy for you to try to do anything if you're out in the open without any utility. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. AKA skills, we talked about him potentially getting pushed. That's what's happening on the top of your minimap right now. He is getting pushed. He gets down the first player. He's down to half HP though, Coppen. He spots him out. AKA skills, this is all on you. 1v2, great split out, and that's gonna be it. Last crew taken down as well, and I believe this is going to show us what our top 8 is going to look like. But the game, of course, not over at all. There's still a lot on the line. All of that being pride and honor. Personal Courage. Trying to make the push on forward. Kofest, he's the guy on the back. He's holding off the potential push coming from the side and trying to get the better view. You see Kofest here from the compound. He's on the roof, looking forward, trying to see if he can spot out anyone. Amir Moore taken down. They are kind of pinned down behind this vehicle in the rock. Now Hickey is making the run on up. We saw Hickey with some insane nades against Wizards in the previous match. Can he repeat it here? One is thrown down to Coppen. That's pretty much looking to go right on the money. One more thrown in, and we see multiple fights happening now as well. Riddle going up against Swamp. Yeah, another fight happening on the other side. But right now, Coppen taken down as well. Emerus down to just 5% HP. He needs to pull off a hero play here. 1 versus 3. Not gonna happen. He did all that he could. Got down 1 knock, but not going to be able to pull off any more than that. And once again, Personal Courage. I mean, they got 16 kills and a 2nd place in game number 1, I believe it was, and this time around it's just talk. Triple kill from oh, that was actually Swamp, never mind, taking out the entirety of Riddle. But for Personal Courage, previously it was Kofest that just did all the damage, but this time around the entire team is just saying, you know what, guys, we don't only want to get into this, we want to get out on top, and they're doing extremely well at that. They've solidified, I believe, that 2nd place spot already by with such a good performance. They're continuing to impress. I mean, every single fight they take here just seems so well controlled, and they've not lost a single fight, or not lost a single player, despite the fact that they've been so active in shooting everyone. But that's what we were talking about before. They had the hard cover, they had the yellow houses, and now when they push out, when they start engaging fights, they have not lost any durability on the Vesta helmets. They have the nades, the utility available, and that's going to give them such a big advantage. Higgy trying to hold the backside, sensing that pressure might be coming in from here, and he's right to feel just that. So he's looking around in that direction, but he might just be giving up that a bit too early. Oh, that's just about one jump. I think he saw them. He must have seen them jump around on the right side. Yep, goes back for cover. And Kofish, you can see, turns around as well to get himself into a better shooting position, going up against them on that side. But now there's about people on the other side too, and that's going to be the info to them that they're completely surrounded. Where do they push from here? They are outside the circle, and they need to make some room. Hickey headshot coming into Alia. All there was a rock and a head, and of course he connects the headshot. And there, they've been doing so well this game so far, just this day overall. Been playing so well so far. Tuck now crawling on forward. He got the entirety of Riddle down, and now he's trying to see if he can do some more. Swarm, once again, top 4 position. They've gotten themselves a win today already, and they're top 4 again. Great improvements to be seen throughout this entirety of the promotionals, and they'll be coming in to the finals, or into the second stage with power, that's for sure. He's just in between this firefight between Draco and Personal Courage right now. Not really wanting to engage in anything. Appeal. Ooh, does he get spotted while proning there? Odin was jumping around trying to see if he could get an angle on him. But I don't think he saw him. Yes, he did see him. Odin gets the knock on towards Appeal. Wants to get the flash as well, but nope. Nope. Oh, there he is. Finishes him off as well. So just 9 players remaining. Talk is just hiding it out. He's buying himself some time. He doesn't want to engage in anything. He doesn't want to over-aggress, even though they know they're in. There is still a lot to play for. You don't really get, like, even when you're playing scrims and these things, you don't get to practice these moments very often. So it's very good for him to play this one super cautious and professional. You see right here on the other side, Merritt. The smoke is there. It's gonna fade away though, and as it fades, Tuck spots out. Merritt gets down the first one. Oh, he has to reload though. Odin, he's at full HP. He spots him out too. Somehow he hits his pan above him, but will get the kill in the end. And multiple shots being fired from the other side now as well. Odin though securing the kill in the end. Phosphorate, 11 kills from Personal Courage once again in the double digits. He's trying to hold off the angle from Odin. He knows he's over there, and Kofist in the meantime just taking full control alongside the other players from Courage over towards huge potential. One goes down, and now it's all up to the last remaining player in Denethor to try and prevent these Personal Courage guys from not only get yet another double digit win, but also potentially getting themselves their first win of the day. 2 snakes against a full 4-man lineup. How are you planning on pulling this one off? Denethor spots out one. Good headshot connected, but it's not going to be enough. Too many angles for him to hold. Houston was the bait, but Kofist was there with the kill, and now Odin is all that's left. That's not going to happen either. Phosphorate secures the kill, and 14 kills.